There's a bunch of things that we do not know about the Forge. Did you know that the Forge literally has a whole lore / storyline, but you literally just gotta talk to every single character in the game? Well, I found a video on YouTube by Flush, and it says the dark truth of the Forge Roblox, and he's gonna break down the whole storyline of the Forge in this single video. So make sure you guys watch all the way to the end, subscribe right now, and let's get right into it.
The Forge is a popular Roblox game where you slay monsters and level up your gear.
That's facts.
What is the story really about? Well, if you talk to some of the characters in the game, you'll realize there's actually a
bro, some of these characters literally just talk. They don't give quests. I thought you like all of them give quests, but no, they just talk.
dark truth that most people are unaware about. See, in the Forge,
I've seen that character
everything
too.
is separated by islands, and you start off in the first island of Stone Wake's Cross. Here you'll find a cave where there's a ton of undead zombies that you must clear out in order to protect the town.
One thing that I realized,
that wasn't always the case. These zombies weren't always there, and you know this by talking to some of the townspeople within this place.
I never actually read
give us some information.
what the characters be saying.
Fred, he's the guy that sells you a lot of the early pickaxes that you could get from the game, but he also gives us some important information. When you talk to Fred, there's an option here that says, do you know what happened here? And then he replies with, oh boy, it was a long time ago. It all started when the earth cracked, and then
I did not know he had lore.
I've lost a bunch of my fellow miner friends in the event. Now they live in the mines. Be careful with them. They're not kidding. So from this conversation alone...
Wait, so all his friends got turned into zombies? That's the lore of the Forge? I did not know that at all. I thought it was just zombies in the cave, bro.
We know two things. We know that this whole game takes place on Earth, but also that all these monsters that came out and attacked all these people weren't always there. This is relatively new.
Are they his friends?
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. There's also other questions that you can ask Fred, like, are you living here? And he'll state that he's originally from Ireland. So again, this whole game takes place in our world. But yeah, if you're to head off to the caves, your goal is to destroy all the zombies in here. And you'll notice some of the zombies wearing miner hats.
That is true.
These were all Fred's friends at one point.
So the zombies, some of these zombies that drop the miner shards literally are miners. So they can literally... His friends all just got killed.
There's even one guy.
It's kind of like solo leveling. Like his
corner here, that is
his raid team got destroyed
into a zombie himself. And
I didn't even notice that.
Press E, but again, you can't really talk with him.
Bro, this miner was always in this corner. I didn't notice he had a zombie arm.
Him at all? Yeah, you can
Wait,
see
that's actually so crazy.
Changed, as well as
his
face. The transformation is almost complete, and he's got this sad look, knowing that there's no way to revert this effect.
Yo, this lore is crazy.
Why is this all happening on this island? Why did the Earth crack? Well, that's when we go into Island 2. Because right now there's three different islands. The third one.
So you're telling me that's all the lore for Island number 1? Like everything that we just found out about the zombies, the miner team, that's all the lore for world number 1. That's kind of crazy.
Just recently released. The first one was Stone Wake's Cross. The second one is now the Forgotten Kingdom. Now, when you want to teleport to this one, you'll get some text here that says, once the largest kingdom.
They had one message of lore in the first world. That's kind of crazy.
So we'll go ahead and teleport here.
I know the second world has way more.
It's quite a large area. Again, there's vendors, blacksmiths, all kinds of people. But also what's lurking in here is the ruined cave. And in here, there's not really any zombies. This time, there's skeletons, which again used to once be people, but are now fallen restless souls.
You can't tell me those are people, bro.
The cave, there are quite a few people who give you some interesting lore. The first person we want to talk to is Walter here. If you ask, what is this place? He responds, the Forgotten Castle. Once a glorious kingdom, now just some ruins that we have to protect people like you from. And the worst part is, we are responsible for everyone that might get hurt. Weak adventurers come here with hopes of finding Galaxite.
Wait, what? Weak adventurers come here for finding Galaxite, only to be consumed by darkness. Wait, so Galaxite is part of the lore in this game? I didn't know that. I thought it was just a random admin ore, but it's actually like a part of the lore. I wonder if they're going to drop a world where like Galaxite is the best ore in the game. So, because it seems like Galaxite is literally
So Galaxite is the rare ore that could be found in this game. And what he's hinting at here is if you die within the cave, then you too will also become a restless skeleton. Yeah, he says here, it's their skeletons who now are sitting in the dark without even a soul. And it was their soullessness that caused this to begin with. Just like the king that ruined this whole town. Now that you know, stay far away.
Who would be the king that ruined the town?
So,
the Goblin King?
Now there's a mention of a king who is soulless. Now keep this king in mind.
Maybe like a
one of the causes
Skeleton
for
King or whatever.
destruction of this
I don't think that came out in the game yet.
Now, another person that can give us lore is Malik over here, the one who's sitting by the campfire. If you talk to him, he mentions that after the mines were opened, nobody expected what was inside. The once peaceful lands were skirmished by the creatures that lurked in the sealed mines. If you ask what happened to everyone after that, he states, most left the island and we are here to protect whoever remains. So again, this whole place used to be a peaceful kingdom where there were many civilians, but then something started lurking within the caves and caused all these skeletons to rise and attack their own people. So again, your goal in this Forgotten Kingdom is to go in, clear out the skeletons, and to protect the townspeople. Except the deeper you are in the caves, the tougher the enemies are. Yeah, you start to realize
definitely
there's
a skeleton
whole hierarchy of enemies within these caves. There's like the elite Death Axe skeleton, the Blight Pyromancer, and the Reaper. Like there's a whole
the Pyromancer just came out, low-key. Like that's a pretty new character.
Well, that's when we can speak
so I feel like he's not part of the lore, low-key.
Some more lore about all this. If you ask, what is so bad about this town? He responds with, do you want the long story or the short one? If we hear the long story, he'll state, a century ago, this land stood as one of the greatest civilizations in the world, ruled by our king and his beloved family. But as
who the heck is the king? Is the king the king skeleton that they leaked? There's like a certain leak. Here, I'm gonna see if I can find it actually. All right, I really wonder if we can find this. All right, there's a sneak peek of a skeleton king, but it hasn't came out in the game yet. We literally just gotta keep scrolling up in the Discord and we're eventually gonna see it. Wait, this, no, that's the Reaper. Wait, what? Have they not leaked the king? Am I tripping, bro? Okay, guys, like I know I'm not tripping. There was a skeleton king leak.
The king grew
I just
older,
can't see it.
He feared
it's not in the Discord right now.
Anything. In his desperation, he made a decision, offering our entire land to evil spirits in exchange for eternal life. At first, he was granted what he wanted, but immortality came with the price. He became one of them, an undead, a ruler of all undead.
It is
now
a skeleton king.
Those creatures that caused his own kingdom to be forgotten, and now we're the ones who stand between the village and his army of the dead. Day after day,
that's crazy.
Night after night, I'm tired of it. If we kill him,
so he is a skeleton king, basically.
End. Maybe I'll get to feel the warm sun on my face without thinking about my next shift. That's our only hope. But if we fail, then everything we fight for would turn to ash. So yeah, now we have a good idea of what exactly is going on. This whole Forgotten Kingdom used to have a great king, but then as he grew older, he started fearing death. And in fearing death, he would turn on his people, gave up all of them, and became a soulless undead.
That's insane.
And like Isaac said, immortality came with a price.
So the next boss of the undead, is going to be like a skeleton king,
the cave and also dies,
which hasn't been added into the game yet.
His army. But now, is the king the big bad of this whole game? No, not at all. In fact, I think he's just the big bad of this island, the Forgotten Kingdom. I mean, in the Forge Discord, in the sneak peek section, there's this teaser of this creature here.
This is literally what I was looking for. This is literally what I was looking for. All right, but one issue with this, we left the second world already. I thought this guy was going to come out in the second world because there's like this secret cave inside the volcano biome, and this guy never came out yet. So if we moved on to the third world and the third world has its own lore, when the heck are they going to add the Skeleton King? Or are they just going to forget about it?
Almost gives a king-like look to him. So this could be the king of the Forgotten Kingdom. They gave up his whole civilization for immortality. But now, as to find out who the big villain is in this whole game, we have to go into the Wizard's Tower. Because in here, we'll find all the lore we need to understand what is going on inside the world of this game. So yeah, when you enter here, you don't want to talk to the wizard. No, instead you want to talk to his assistant, Ada. Because Ada will actually give you all the information you need. If you talk to Ada and humor her for a little bit, at some point she'll mention how all these islands at some point in time weren't actually islands. She even goes on saying this stuff is only known by the highest members of the council. There was only one piece of land which all the races were living in harmony. The civilization was so advanced that we were mixing arcane with technology and such. Even the elves were helping humans. Oh yeah, and then in case you didn't know, humans are very much hated within the world of the Forge.
They are?
So that's why she says this line, how elves were helping out about humans. We'll go more into that in a little bit. But yeah, she continues on saying, I'm not going to give you the name because he could still hear us. He was bored of peace. He always tried to manipulate the races into fighting each other, but he was always stopped by the faction.
Dang, so there's like some bad guy in this
alliance. War was
game.
seemed reasonless and everybody enjoyed the peace. Then one day, he had enough and decided—
Wait, she leaked his name. His name is Miguel something. All right, and then she said no. So she's about to say his name. So the final boss of this game is called Miguel or something. All right, Miguel. That's the beginning of his name. It's not the full name. That's just the beginning of it.
To fight.
It's pretty interesting.
What seemed enough to him. He promised to change and be a better person, then joined the faction. He learned their techniques, spells, and studied their immortality. One day,
I wonder what he
disappeared
is.
Without a trace.
Is he probably like a demon race?
Knew of him, but then everything went out of control, like really out of control. He joined the faction only to learn their summoning technique. As I said, he was trying to be immortal. And he was immortal. He had achieved it before leaving, but to summon the archdemon deep from the inferno, he managed to do it.
All right, so there's archangel race. There's angel race, there's demon race, and this guy is an archdemon. Well, he tried to summon an archdemon. But I assume he might be
body. But he lost his body.
That might be another race that comes out pretty soon.
The price of his body was enough, so his soul never went away from the soil of this world. That's why we can't mention him with his name. From Inferno, all kinds of demons rose, tearing the world apart. As the earth was scorching, all races assembled for the last time. Our world and the underworld had the war known as the Last Galaxite War. It was so harsh that the ground was torn apart and the mainland was splitting into thousands of islands. The reason it's called the Last Galaxite War is because all the races blamed the humans for what had happened.
What?
So
why they blame the humans?
If this war was even winnable, they
I feel like the guy was probably human
again. So yeah, from Ada we learned a lot of things. We learned of another entity.
So I feel like that Miguel guy, he was probably a human race, and since the humans was the first person that summoned the archdemon or whatever during the Last Galaxite War, they probably got mad at the humans and blamed one guy for all the human race. It's kind of
that we
can't that happens
say
a lot.
Their name. Ada
even in their like
slips
real
and
life.
Says it, calling him Miel, but Miel is the true villain of this entire game. He
Mjal.
pretended to join the factions to learn their techniques, spells, and also studying immortality. And he was the one that would summon all these demons from the Inferno, aka from all these caves. And so now some people may theorize that Miel is actually the immortal king that is talked about by Isaac. But remember, the immortal king actually does have a skeletal body. Miel, on the other hand, lost his immortal body in order to summon
it seems
all
like
the
it's different
demons
people.
and the rise of the undead. But again, his soul still lurks around this world. He is very much still immortal. And I believe it was also Miel that brainwashed the king into joining his army and making him an undead. Yeah, again, in the Discord, in the sneak peek section, we were given this trailer here in which a mysterious stranger is worshipping something glowing in the red cave. But what exactly is that? Well, also along with the trailer, we were given this strange text here.
What the heck?
I'm not smart enough to figure out what it's going on, but within the Discord, people were able to realize that this was base 64 code, and if you were to decode it, you would actually get some Morse code. If you grab this text here and put it into a Morse code translator, you'll get the text heart, meaning that what we're looking at here, what this mysterious stranger is worshiping,
the lore goes deep in this game. What the heck?
Miel. So Miel is very much alive and is still plotting despite not having a body. He is working on something truly dark and sinister, still gathering henchmen.
The heart of the island is Miel's heart.
Like the Immortal King and the Yeti and the new island that we can now explore. Now, unfortunately, I'm barely level 21, and to get to the new island, I yet to be level 70, so I got a lot of grinding to do. But yeah, I imagine there's some more lore in this new island. Do you want me to talk about more Forge lore? Let me know in the comments down below.
Alright guys, and that's where I come from. Alright, we are going to explore the third island and see all the lore. And we just got a new update event for a hidden maze. Comes out Sunday. That's right. That sounds interesting. But all right, let's talk to some of these NPCs and see what the heck is going on in the third island. He said, "Curse's ice still feels against it. Greetings, stranger. Do you know the way of fire?" I'm gonna say, "Who are you?" "I'm the wanderer seeking passage, but this ice is ancient. I tried to break it, but the steel shatters. Fire dies, and it mocks. But enough talk. Will you aid me?" I already helped you. Okay, he just repeats what he said. Okay. I'm gonna say goodbye to him. All right, so who should we talk to? Who will have a lore on this island? What about, no, not Wu. All right. Let's, wait. Isn't this the magician's cave over here? All right, but Ida's not in here anymore. You look curious. Dangerous quality around magic. I want to change my race. What are races? Okay, he only talks about races and stuff. All right, what about this area? The strongest hero, Elias. A light that warmed this world. So I guess this guy's the Excalibur sword. So this guy must have been like the hero for the humans or something, and his name's Elias. That's pretty interesting. That's definitely a part of the lore. He's probably definitely like one of the top heroes or whatever. But let's see if there's any other people in this area. There is one secret building that you can enter now that I think they added it as part of wait, I haven't completed your quest. Move. Yo, why is bro so rude? Okay, I do remember there being like a new building somewhere. Oh, is this building? All right, so there's this new building right here with a new guy. Oh, that's a cat. Ugh, why's a cat look like that? Ew. We can't even talk to it. All right, but this is just someone's house. It looks like there is no lore inside of here. Dang, I thought there was like a lot more things going on in there. All right, let's go to this part of the island. Is there any NPCs out here? Nope, there's not a single one. Dang, what NPCs have lore in this game in the third world? Yo, if you guys know, please let me know in the comment section, because I want to get down to this. Like, I want to find out the actual lore of this game. What if we got talks like the Rune Maker or something? No, he doesn't say anything else. Dang, this is kind of crazy. What's enhancing? I'm here to enhance. Nope. Sensei Moro, I know it's you, bro. I go now. Okay. Well, nobody wants to talk on this island, unfortunately. Not a single person wants to talk, and I don't see any other NPCs that may have lore. So this is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe with the Raven quest, the NPCs with the Raven quest added lore to the game, but I wouldn't know. But let's just keep exploring this map. After this, I'm gonna zoom out and see if there's any hidden NPCs around this map, because I have seen one before. Yeah, all right. This area is pretty much a dead end. But if you do go to the top of these cliffs or whatever, there is some hidden item on top of this one, I believe. All right, let's just check it real quick, and there we go. There's a literal cat right here, and the cat says this is not local's cat, by the way, bro. Okay, that seems like a developer troll, bro. I don't think that's like actual any lore. It seems like it's just a dev troll. But anyways, in this cave, there's absolutely no NPCs to talk to, I believe. Yeah, I'm not seeing a single NPC in here. Bro, guys, please let me know if you know about any of the lore in the third world. Please drop it in the comment section, and I will do a part 2 video going over whatever lore is in the third world. But so far, I'm seeing absolutely nothing right now. Like, none of these NPCs even want to talk to me. If anything, the only lore here is that Elias guy. That's the only thing that might have like any lore behind it. But besides that, I pretty much talked to everyone in this area. But anyways, oh wait, literally, I don't have it unlocked on this account, but the next lore is probably going to be the 3 guys back here. These are probably the only people that have actual lore in this island. And his name, wait. His name is Magel. This guy's name is Magel. Is he not the immortal guy? Remember, the guy's name was Magel, but it was cut off. But this guy's name is Magel as well. Is he the immortal guy, the immortal king that turned everyone evil? Is that not him? Or is that like someone pretending to be him or something? That's actually pretty interesting, not gonna lie, guys. And this is definitely the heart of the island. They said the guy's heart turned into like the island, which is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Click on the screen right now to watch my next video. Crazy Highway, thank you so much for watching.